So let me just, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at how to make this into a brush and what you can kind of do with type as a brush and why would I do it that way. Okay, so we're going to take this word train. But if you first set the word train, let's actually take, what am I doing? R-A-I-N. So we're going to take this and we're going to bring up our character palette and we're going to bring this, I don't know why it set it negative. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to size this. Right, so I'm just taking, I could do Command T as well, free transform. And I'm going to tuck the T underneath here. Right, and we'll just do a little bit of kerning to set this word. Now you can use, actually I want you to use the word train so you can actually get set to changing this. Now I could take this word and make it into a brush. But let's see what size this is. Ooh, only 750 by 750. That's not going to make a very big brush. So I'm actually going to create a new document and do 2500 by 2500, right? Because the maximum sizes of a brush. I'm going to make this big just to go all the way to the end. And then I'm going to do Edit, Define Brush Preset, and we're going to do OK. And actually, I'll just stay in this document. And so I'm going to create a new layer. We're going to grab the brush tool, and we are going to grab my newly formed train brush. And so now I could do things, right? I could create texture by using a brush, but the brush is a word. And you may look at this and go, okay, well, so what? That's not very interesting. But now I could put a mask on this, and let's make this bigger. And I could rotate the brush. I could do all sorts of things with this. Let's actually go ahead and do that. Oops, I want the brush menu. We're going to rotate this. And we're going to bring some of the word back. So look at, so I have the word train that's in here, but it's being masked with other, I mean, there's other things that are working in there. The word itself is masked upon itself, which I think is just really interesting with what you can do. Right, I can now make this smaller, and I could work the word in there. And in here. So now I have this whole thing that says train, or you could make it say whatever you want. But it's all with making it a brush, which I find very interesting. It's very texturally interesting. I could do all sorts of things now, so I'm working with it kind of at the opposite way. Right? I think that's really interesting to do things like this. Not that you have to, but it just gives you another option of what to do. So let's say I'm finished with this and I say I love it. You could also take different photos or textures. I'm actually going to take one that was here. We're going to go ahead and select all, and I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to bring it to this new one here. So I can now take that texture, right, and I could use a different blending mode, and I could blend it down into this. This is screen. And all of a sudden now I have this type, and it's filled with the words, and there's some texture to it. I could also do it at normal and do a clipping mask to it. And you could do different blends with that clipping mask. Hard light's kind of interesting. And so now I just have this textural text treatment, and it all comes from one word, creating it as a brush.